All right, guys, welcome back. Today we are going to do an oil change on a 2025 CFMoto UForce 1000. This process is pretty much the same exact as from 2019 all the way through now, because this is the same model, same engine design. Sorry about the construction noise. There's going to be some air nailers and saws going off in the background, but we're adding on. It's pretty cool. So first thing I'm going to show you guys is we usually take the wheel off of these things so we can get in here easier. So the wheel, there's 4 lug nuts that hold it on there. We already have the wheel off, obviously. And it's a 19 millimeter. So we use this to take the wheel off. We don't use that to put the wheel back on because you don't want to hurt the lug nuts. The drain bolt underneath is a 19 mil. This is a 10, and this is for the 4 screws I'm going to show you next. And this is for your push darts. There's a couple push darts they've removed. And then your oil filter housing has 3 8 millimeters. And then this guy here is the oil change kit. It's pretty cool, right from CFMoto. I will put a link to Amazon in the video down below and where you can snag this kit and have it shipped right to your door. So the wheel has been removed, and these 2 push darts were just in these 2 holes here. 1, 2, easy to get to. And this tool is nice. You can get in between and pull that center tab out. So just give yourself like a pair of pliers like this. And then these 4 bolts, we're holding the shroud on because we take the shroud off. It just makes things a little bit easier. So the one that is stepped without a washer is the one that goes up on top here. So there was 1. And then we have the other 3 that have a washer on them. It goes 1, 2, and then the 3rd one I think is down here. Yeah, right there. And then Chris, you want to give an example on how now all the bolts are loose? Pull out on the side a little bit. Nice up and easy and out. And look at that. That opens up this whole compartment. And if you don't know, that's where your battery is located. You can get to the battery from the top if you're trying to service that. This is our dipstick, right, Chris, on this one? Yep. So dipstick is here. Over here is the oil filter housing, because I don't do this. I'm just a video guy. It's that one. So dipstick, oil filter housing, and then the drain bolt is directly up underneath the middle. We got our drain pan ready. Let's drain the oil out of this thing. The first time we always get these back in, we do hundreds of CFMotos. We go to a longer breaker bar to get that drain bolt out because it's on incredibly tight. So let's show you guys that here. So I'm gonna lay on this side. It's easier for Chris to work on that side of the vehicle. So if you're at home doing your own oil change, don't be upset that it's on super tight. It's pretty standard stuff, unfortunately. You can see how much, I mean, it's a full breaker bar. So this is gonna have roughly, I think 3 quarts in it or just under. So it's gonna be a decent sized drain pan. And don't be upset if, yeah, look how new that oil is. That's crazy. We're gonna let this drain and then we'll come back. So we're prepping the drain bolt to go back in. We're getting it cleaned up. You always wipe this down really good. And then Chris is pulling off the old crush washer and we're throwing the new one on there. It comes in the kit. So I paused the video to look it up. 22 foot-pounds, and I'll put the screenshot in here now for you guys at home. So 22 foot-pounds is the drain bolt on a 25 CFMoto UForce 1000. That's nice and clean. It's pretty much done draining. There's probably gonna be a couple little drips, but nothing major. And this is where we're gonna torque that to 22 foot-pounds. So what's gonna happen is it gets kind of messy up in here because our housing, I mean, it's right on top of a bunch of other stuff. So what we have is this is more of a motorcycle catch, like a V-twin type motorcycle is what that's really meant for, but we use it here in the shop all the time. And we're gonna throw some absorbent rag in there. But what Chris always does is one of his tricks is he loosens and takes out that bottom bolt completely. Turning the camera here first. That way, you can go and do it. That way, whenever we get that catch tray up in there, it's not in the way of his hand. So removing that 1 bolt first isn't gonna let oil come out, and it does not hurt anything to do that. There's not like a lot of pressure behind that housing. So as soon as the top 2 bolts were cracked, you can see some oil was flowing, and just letting it drain just makes the whole process better and cleaner. It's pretty sweet. And they're an 8 millimeter. So there's our housing. Just set it right on here. Pretty clean in there. And then we have an O-ring that just came out as well. And then there's the actual oil filter. So there's the orientation of it, just so you guys know at home. Pull that sucker right out of there. A little bit more oil coming out. We caught almost all that. It's insane. Yep, there's the filter. That part goes in. That's in. And then just one last shot of the housing in there. Perfect. We'll get everything cleaned up. Okay, so we're getting the housing cleaned. We've got our new O-ring. And then we're going to wipe out the inside of that as well. Just get everything cleaned up. There's the new O-ring going on the cover. If you don't want to buy the whole kit, I went up front and got this. This is the oil filter element only. So that's the part number there in the middle, the 080 number. So if you're going to use a different brand of oil, you can buy just this if you wish. Sweet, new oil filter is going to go back in with the bigger, thicker rubber going in. Kind of pushes in there a little bit, seats in nicely. And then our cover. And then the 3 screws. So I'm gonna let Chris put all that back in there. We got our 3 bolts back in, and these are 10 Newton meters. This is the torque on those. So just so you guys know, home is 10 Newton meters or 7.8 foot-pounds on the oil filter housing. So in your CFMoto Oil Change Kit, it comes with 3 quarts of oil. It's a 10W-40. Now these only take like 2.6 quarts, and I'll put the screenshot in here if I haven't already, of the oil change process. So you're not going to use all 3 quarts. Don't just automatically dump them all in. You start with like 2.6 and then start the motor, let it cool down, and then double check your dipstick. So again, it's this dipstick. Be careful, there's one in the front, but that's your transmission dipstick. So this is the engine oil dipstick here. This is what the dipstick looks like. And it's got a pretty long rod that goes quite a ways down in there. And we're looking to get it between those marks there. When you remove the dipstick, there could be some dirt and debris. You can kind of see it there. So we're going to wipe kind of down and away from the housing. That way the dirt doesn't fall in, but we always take the time to make sure we clean that off as well. And this is our Motion Pro oil funnel. I'll put a link as well on the Amazon. We use this every day a lot. So they usually have a valve, that valve right there, if you want to use this as your mix cup or to measure it out as well. So you can turn that valve shut. You got all the numbers on the sides, and then you can dump stuff right in. But we just have the bottles here, and we're going to put 2.6 in. So we just ran the machine with the oil in there for about 2 minutes. We don't go 5 minutes or anything crazy with it. We just want to pump the oil through it. We're gonna let it sit for a second, and then we'll pull that dipstick and we'll check it there on the level. So we pulled the dipstick out, got her cleaned up, and this is the important part, is we just set it in there without screwing it back in. So we just push it in. Let's see where we're at with 2.6. Can we see it on there yet? This dipstick's hard to see in film, but we're good. It's right there. It's hard to tell. It's on the little on the low side, so we'll add just a little bit more, but these dipsticks, the film and trying to get lighting to work, it's there. It's just hard to see. So we're gonna add just a touch more, but 2.6 is good if you had to, but you're gonna get 3 quarts in the bag. So this was us at 3C's doing an oil change. We're not gonna show you reinstalling the inner fender because it's just the 4 screws, 2 push darts, and then reinstalling your wheel. We just think getting to this compartment, it is so much easier to remove that. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please consider subscribing to the channel. Enjoy the ride. We'll see you on the trail.